Adam Smith understood the need to explain why it is generally possible for enterprises to make profits. His explanation in The Wealth of Nations is almost always neglected by today's readers of that book. I'm going to quote, "The produce of almost all other labor is liable to the like deduction of profit. In all arts and manufactures, the greater part of the workmen stand in need of a master to advance them the materials of their work, and their wages and maintenance till it be completed. He, the master, shares in the produce of their labor, or in the value which it adds to the materials upon which it is bestowed, and in this share consists his profit." Notice here that for Adam Smith, profit is a deduction from what workers produce. And the reason that capitalists are able to do this is because workers don't have the means to access the materials needed for them to work. This is very much in line with Marx's theory of profits. Profits represent an appropriation of part of what workers produce, an appropriation that is made possible by the fact that in capitalist economies, the vast majority of people have no way of earning a living other than by selling their ability to work to somebody else. Those workers have no right to access tools, machines, land, or anything else that they may use to produce the things they need to survive. In order to gain access to those things, you need capital, typically in very large amounts. And most people don't have capital. So they face the choice of poverty, or they go out and get a job and work for somebody who does have the capital to initiate and sustain production. That situation creates a fundamental inequality of power in the bargain between employer and worker. And that inequality helps ensure that wages are typically low enough to make a typical capitalist able of generating profits from hiring labor to produce goods or supply services. To Smith and Marx, profits exist because there is a social system of property rights under which the machines, tools, buildings, and all other productive resources and all the goods and services that are produced with them belong to a fairly small fraction of the population as a whole. This system allows that fraction of the population to appropriate, or to use Adam Smith's term, deduct, a share from the total social output produced by those who do the work necessary to produce that output. That share is profit, which for Marx represents a share of the total labor time needed to produce the social output for which workers are not paid. In this view, unpaid labor time is the secret sauce of profits. It's how owners of diversified wealth portfolios, trust fund beneficiaries, and others can passively earn large incomes without performing any productive, entrepreneurial, or managerial labor, because they effectively appropriate the fruits of somebody else's labor time. In this lesson, you learned how Marx and Smith understood profits and how they represent an appropriation of what laborers produce. Its essence is unpaid labor time performed by wage earners. In the next video in this lesson, we'll discuss another crucial way in which a different kind of unpaid labor time is central to profits.